Gohan is at his current peak, and he broke his father's Ultra Instinct, and now he fights to break Beerus's instinct, who held off the other gods with ease. Can Gohan control his power on the brink of madness and keep himself in check to such a point that he will stand up to Beerus, a Hakai Shin? And what if I told you yes, and I know how? Are you really ready for this video? Hold on, my dear beastly friends. Calm yourselves. Hey, go subscribe to the channel, leave your like and activate the bell. Share it with your friends, because this is just too insane. Gohan versus Beerus, proving that he can indeed protect the Earth from what's coming. What we saw in the current arcs and the end of the manga before it went on hiatus brings this premise, that now Gohan is the protector of Earth, allowing Goku and Vegeta to fully concentrate their strength on other universes in future sagas. These sagas being the universes that were present in the Tournament of Power, such as Jiren's universe, and also the visit to Sadala, and some development regarding Sidra's universe, where they tried to manipulate Universe 7's defeat. Anyway, that being said, here we have the passing of the torch, entrusted to Gohan by none other than the warrior who had protected Earth until now, Goku. Not always alone, nor doing everything by himself, but somehow everything always ends up revolving around him in a twist, so that in the end, he becomes the most important piece, as we saw against Cell.
Quick reminder, if you love Dragon Ball What If stories, I've got exclusive members-only videos featuring original, alternate timelines and unique scenarios. Check out the membership section after the video. Now, back to today's topic.
Even though Gohan was the strongest Saiyan, it was Goku who gave everything to bring peace to Earth, giving his life and helping with the final Kamehameha. And it was the same with Majin Buu, even though Gohan was stronger, and the return of F, where Gohan wasn't even training anymore. But all of that changed after he became a father, of course, and wanted to protect his daughter Pan. He started training with Piccolo and came in strong in his new movie, followed by his saga, and he became his best version yet, Gohan Beast. We know that for a long time, Gohan was considered the prodigy of Universe 7. In fact, he still is. Of course, a prodigy in the sense of hidden power. Son of Son Goku and Chi-Chi, his existence always oscillated between two worlds, that of a warrior with unmatched potential and that of a pacifist who only wanted a peaceful life with his family. However, in several crucial moments in Dragon Ball's history, it was precisely this in-between state that made him a key piece, not because he wanted to fight, but because he chose to fight. And when he chose to, Gohan was different. He was overwhelming. Today, we have an impossible yet inevitably tempting scenario. Gohan facing off against Beerus, the god of destruction, in a direct battle. Not a casual encounter like their first meeting when Beerus humiliated all the Z warriors with ease, and Gohan was just a name to be ignored, but a serious fight with Gohan at his current peak, or at least the limit we know, the beast form, unleashed in a moment of desperation against Cell Max. A state that combines the wild instinct of his Saiyan heritage with the discipline of someone who has studied, analyzed, and meditated on himself like no other warrior before him. A battle that would prove he can protect the Earth. But would that be enough? Enough for him to reach his peak right there? Before answering, we must understand what each one represents and what their true weapons are, because Gohan and Beerus are, in essence, two forces with completely opposite natures. One is guided by emotion, morality, and personal convictions, the other by cosmic balance, boredom, and a destructive nature intrinsic to his own divinity. Gohan doesn't seek power out of pride, glory, or competition. In fact, he's often avoided it. His motivation is singular, to protect what he loves, Earth, his family, Pan. In a way, he isn't driven by desire, but by necessity. And that may be one of the greatest hidden strengths he possesses, because, unlike others, Gohan doesn't want to surpass his limits to prove something to himself. He wants to become strong enough so that no one else has to. That's his current motivation, to prove that if a new threat appears, he can protect everything, not out of arrogance, but out of responsibility.
His most recent fight against Goku made that very clear. Gohan not only matched his father in combat, something that in itself is a monumental feat given Goku's battle history throughout the entire series, which was more intense and consistent than Gohan's, but he also managed to temporarily break Goku's Ultra Instinct, forcing him to stop fighting on autopilot and think again like a warrior seeking improvement. There, Gohan didn't defeat Goku, but he forced the very concept of Ultra Instinct to acknowledge that there was still something beyond technique, the raw power of channeled emotion. And that is the essence of the beast form. This transformation, which awakened during the battle against Cell Max, is a breaking point. It doesn't follow the natural evolution path of Ultra Instinct or Ultra Ego like Goku and Vegeta. It's something separate, unique to Gohan. A pure manifestation of his rage, yes, but refined by his intelligence, his focus, and his love. With silver hair and intense red eyes, Gohan Beast looks more like a mythical beast than a warrior. But this state isn't uncontrolled savagery, it's the perfect fusion of emotion and reason, something Gohan may be the only one capable of sustaining, along with Broly currently as well, whom Vegeta insists seems to have the aura of a beast. And that brings us to the great dilemma. Even with all this power, could he really face Beerus? The same god who, with a simple move, defeated Super Saiyan 3 Goku like swatting away an annoying fly. The deity who faced all the other gods of destruction in a group clash and came out without visible injuries, keeping a calm smile on his face, as if it were just a warm-up. Beerus is a mystery. To this day, we haven't seen his true power. What he has shown has always been restrained, like someone who doesn't see a need to make an effort. When he faced Goku, he didn't even break a sweat. When he interrupted the gods' battle in the manga, he did so with such ease that it terrified even Quitala, who is known for his arrogance and strategy. He is the pinnacle of destruction, but also of unpredictability. He sleeps for decades, eats ramen, and fights over pudding, but he can erase a planet in seconds. The battle between Gohan and Beerus, therefore, is not just physical, it's philosophical. It's a clash between someone who seeks to preserve life and someone whose very existence is defined by destroying it. It's a duel of cosmic roles. If Gohan had had more action in the latest arcs, maybe this power gap would be smaller. It's fair to imagine, what if Gohan had participated in the battles against Moro, Granola, and Gas? Against Moro, he would have learned to deal with magical abilities and energy drain, forcing him to explore more of his ki control and endurance. Against Granola, an opponent who fought with absolute precision thanks to the wish from the cereal Dragon Balls, Gohan would have been forced to improvise, adapt, and use his strategic intelligence to the fullest. Against Gas, the most powerful warrior in the universe for a time, Gohan would have faced pure chaos, an adversary with diverse techniques, unmeasured brutality, and emotional instability. These experiences would undoubtedly have refined his combat style. Perhaps then, the beast form wouldn't just be an emergency state, but a stable power, cultivated and honed like Ultra Instinct. But that's not what happened. Gohan was absent, and that creates a gap. He reached a supreme state of power, but without the polish that the battlefield offers. Beerus, on the other hand, lives in a constant state of readiness, even if his appearance says otherwise. He represents a threat not because he trains incessantly, but because his nature places him above most. When he trains with Whis, he does so to maintain the balance between his destruction and his function. He's not a traditional warrior, he's a force of nature. That said, Gohan has weapons that few possess. He has tactical intelligence, a scientific mind capable of analyzing patterns and flaws. This, combined with his ability to unleash extreme emotional boosts in critical moments, makes him a fighter who can surprise even the most prepared opponents. The beast form, in its explosiveness, is like a violent supernova, sudden and uncontrollable. It's a manifestation of what Gohan can be when he decides to set aside the shackles of caution. In a clash against Beerus, would this power be enough to apply pressure? Initially, yes, Gohan could surprise. His impaired speed, brute strength, and pure determination could allow him to wound Beerus, maybe for the first time in years. The god of destruction, caught by a slight shock of surprise, would find himself forced to use more than usual. Perhaps not even the Hakai would work directly against Beast Gohan, who has already shown an absurd level of resistance, enduring direct attacks from Cell Max, who had power capable of destroying continents with ease. But the advantage wouldn't last, because there's something in Beerus that few notice. He's not just power, he's experience, knowledge of eras, techniques that transcend mortal understanding. Gohan is brilliant, but still young in the field of interplanetary battle. He relies on reaction, instinct, and intelligence. Beerus on calculation, brutality, and divine intuition.
There's also the mental factor. Beerus doesn't hesitate. If he feels he must destroy, he destroys. Gohan, even in his most beastly state, still hesitates for milliseconds. He thinks, ponders, asks himself if he should. That moment is enough for a god of destruction to seal the fate of an opponent. Gohan's compassion is his strength, but also his weakness against an entity that exists without bonds, without remorse, and without mercy. Does that mean Gohan can't win? Not exactly. It means that today, he's not ready. Not yet. For Gohan to reach a level to fairly rival Beerus, he would need two things: more battlefield experience and more understanding of his new power. The beast form is unstable and volatile. He hasn't mastered it like Goku mastered Ultra Instinct. He lacks training, yes, but more importantly, he lacks action. He needs to be exposed to opponents that force him to understand his own limitations, just like Goku was, where he himself explained he had to go to the limit not to be taken over by madness, something we still don't know if it would be the same madness that took Broly and constantly evolved, which forced Goku and Vegeta to fuse, and even so he kept adapting and gaining more power. Could that be Gohan's loss of control too? Or would it be the fainting episodes from before? Who knows, right? What do you think? Comment down below. He must overcome barriers beyond emotional impulse. He needs to develop techniques within this form, expand his control, and most importantly, stop using it as a last resort and make it a natural extension of his style. There's still an interesting point. What if Gohan decided to follow a hybrid path between reason and instinct, something between the absolute control of Ultra Instinct and the brutality of the beast form? Maybe there lies a new kind of evolution that only he could access, a state where his scientific mind and warrior heart coexist, where power doesn't spring from rage, but from full clarity of his mission as Earth's protector. In this possible future, Gohan could even reach a level above the gods themselves, not for being born for it, but for having chosen, more than once, to sacrifice everything for what he believes in. There's nothing more dangerous than a warrior who fights not for pride, nor for power, but because he knows no one else can. Beerus, as powerful as he is, does not understand that kind of drive, and that's where Gohan would truly become a threat to him. But until then, there is still a path, a long path of battles, mistakes, growth, and training. Gohan needs to leave his comfort zone, put the books aside for a while, and face the universe with the same courage he faced Cell, Bojack, Dabura, and Cell Max. Because the universe has changed, the power scale has changed, and if he wants to protect Earth with his own hands, he must adapt, and fast. Meanwhile, Beerus remains an impassive cosmic guardian, a being who has yet to find reason to fight seriously, and who perhaps harbors within himself a power so absurd that even Goku's Ultra Instinct or Vegeta's Ultra Ego are just the beginning of what it would take to truly challenge him. Maybe not even Whis knows exactly what Beerus's limit is, because, like the universe itself, he has no end, only cycles. Gohan is in one of those cycles now, no longer a frightened child, no longer a reluctant warrior, but also not yet a definitive savior. He is an in-between step, a foreshadowing of something grand that may or may not bloom. The fight against Beerus, even if hypothetical, shows us this, how much he has grown and how much he still needs to grow. In the end, this battle is not about winning or losing, it's about being ready. And today, Gohan still isn't. But tomorrow? Tomorrow could be different. Because if there's one thing all gods fear, it's the emergence of someone who doesn't fight for glory nor for power, but because they know no one else can. And that someone, inevitably, might just be Gohan. In the end, we'll still find out why Beerus truly feared that the Saiyans would break the cosmic parameters and bring imbalance and not Frieza.